35 minutes of details you may have forgotten about in zombies. Let's go. Now, for every single Zombie Chronicles map, we got a new music/max ammo Easter egg, and it all revolves around a bunch of dolls of Samantha. And to start this Easter egg in Nacht Der Untoten, you're going to want to hit 4 buttons hidden around the map. The first one is located in the mystery box room underneath these shelves. Next one is going to be on the top of the wall to the left of Mule Kick. Next one is going to be upstairs, opposite side of the Argus wall by, and the last and final one is going to be on the ceiling of the spiral staircase. Once you have hit all of the buttons, you will hear this sound. And once you hear that sound, you want to head over to the RK5 wall by, and across from it on the ground is going to be a doll of Samantha. You want to interact with the doll, and that is when the next step begins. There's going to be a doll of Samantha somewhere around the map. You will know when you're near it when you hear this sound. So you really just want to walk around the map and listen for the song. On Nacht Der Untoten, the doll is going to be random throughout the map, so you just really want to listen for the music and find it and shoot it. I believe there's going to be about 5 dolls, so you're going to have to do this a couple times, and you are being timed. So eventually, if you do not shoot it, you're going to have to start all over again by activating the doll across from the RK5. But once you have found all of the dolls, you're going to hear this sound. Head back to the RK5, interact with the doll again, and you will be rewarded with a max ammo and this song. Now that song is in a lot of other Easter eggs for Zombie Chronicles, so I'm not going to keep playing it over and over and over again because I'm not going to do that to you guys. I love you guys too much. But some of the Easter eggs do use a different song, so when it's different, I'll let you listen to it. The next interesting thing that I have to show you guys is going to be today's video partner, NordVPN. NordVPN is the #1 way to stay protected online through the numerous cyber threats that are out there or from any prying eyes. You never know who's going to be trying to look at what you're doing on the internet. Mainly criminals, your wife, the government. So you definitely want to stay protected and hidden from all of those prying eyes. And there's really just no better way to do it than to go to nordvpn.com/crazyrabbit and get your 2-year plan and 4 months for free if you go to nordvpn.com/crazyrabbit. And if you are not satisfied with the amazing protection that NordVPN is giving you on the internet, literally impossible, they do have a 30-day money-back guarantee. And the best part about NordVPN is you can access region-locked content. When I was in Japan, I used NordVPN to make it look like I was in America so I could keep up to date with everything that I was missing. So like I said, use the link down below in the description and get NordVPN. I've been using it for many, many years, and I will continue to use it for many, many years. Ignore the casting couch that I'm on, click the link in the description, get NordVPN, and back to the video. Now, one interesting thing about all of the remakes of Nacht Der Untoten is they all include the Carpenter power-up. And you might be like, why is that interesting? Well, it's kind of like a Mandela effect, because I always thought the Carpenter was on Nacht Der Untoten, and you never really noticed that on the World at War version, it's not. We never got the Carpenter power-up until Derice, so it was never on Nacht Der Untoten. And the Carpenter power-up is like such a staple of zombies. You would just always assume that, yeah, of course it was on Nacht Der Untoten, but in actuality, it was not. Another thing we got with all of these Zombie Chronicles maps is a Dr. Monty radio message that kind of gives us a little bit of background and information about the map. Now, whether you like Dr. Monty and the storyline is here nor there. I personally think he ruined it, but it still is pretty interesting to see what he has to say about each individual map. And in the spawn of Nacht Der Untoten, you can find this radio, and here's what he has to say.
Nacht Der Untoten. That translates as Night of the Dead. I learned that tonight. Been trying to scrub up on my German, you see. Anyway, it happened in an old concrete building on an airfield somewhere in I don't know where. I remember it being really small, simple by today's standards. I think there was a fog. Not a lot of it, certainly not coming into the building itself. You know what I just realized? You weren't even there. At least, not at first. It was some other random, forgettable soldiers that had the misfortune to live through that horrible night, or Nacht, as it was actually known. Yeah, I speak German now.
Now there is one more music Easter egg on Nacht Der Untoten, and this is a throwback to the original World at War Nacht Der Untoten. In the Chronicles version, you can activate the music Easter egg undone by shooting and exploding all 28 explosive barrels outside the map. It's a little tedious because some of them are pretty well hidden, but this is a nice throwback to the original World at War Nacht Der Untoten, where you could explode all the barrels outside the map and you really wouldn't be rewarded with anything, but it's still pretty cool to see them take that original concept and turn it into a music Easter egg. But once you have successfully destroyed all 28 of them, this happens. The last thing that I have for you about Nacht Der Untoten is going to be the cabinet. In the original World at War version, on the second floor, if you open the cabinet, you are rewarded with a scoped Kar 98. And it felt really special because it was really only on this map that you could get it. Sure, you could get it from the box, but there was just something special about getting it from this cabinet that made you kind of want to buy it every time you played. And the Black Ops 3 version, it just doesn't feel as special because it's just a regular old Black Ops 3 weapon, the Locust, that you can get on any other map. So I really wish Treyarch would have done something special with the cabinet, but unfortunately they did not. Now heading over to Verruckt, the Samantha doll Easter egg is going to require you to flush some toilets. Come over here to the toilets and flush the far right one 9 times, the middle one 3 times, and the left one 5 times for 935. And then you'll hear the sound that confirms that you did it. Head over to Wonder Fizz, which is in the very next room. Interact with the Samantha doll on the ground, and now you're going to play hide and go seek again. And very similar to the Nacht Der Untoten one, they're going to be scattered randomly throughout the map. Listen for the music, and when you see it, shoot it. And you want to do this over and over again until you have gotten them all. And once you have gotten them all, you want to come back to the Wonder Fizz machine, interact with it, get your free max ammo, and activate the music Easter egg. And of course, there is also the Dr. Monty radio. This one's going to be in the left side spawn. You want to come over here and activate this radio, and you'll get this message from Dr. Monty.
Electroshock therapy, chemically engineered beverages, hordes of undead Nazis. Find the power to unite and send them back to their graves. Can you believe that's how I actually described it back then? It was an asylum. It was also a horrible, terrible, grim, depressing place. I'd give you a full explanation of everything that happened there, but it would only be horrible, terrible, grim, depressing. Oh, fuck. You weren't there either. But then you were.
Now there is one cool Easter egg that I really like in the Chronicles version of Verruckt, and that is the fountain. If you shoot an explosive weapon or the Wunderwaffe DG2 at the fountain, it's going to start throwing up blood. And I really like that Treyarch decided to incorporate some of the major aspects of the OG maps, like the exploding barrels or the fountain, that had a lot to do with the maps, but yet also didn't at the same time back in the day. And Treyarch took those concepts and made them into little Easter eggs, and I absolutely love that. Now the only complaint that I have for the Verruckt one is that there is no missing hand on the power switch. That was a big deal back in World at War Zombies. The OG Verruckt one did have the severed hand on the power switch, and the Chronicles version does not, and that ticks me off just a little bit. Now, the Zombie Chronicles version of Shi No Numa didn't really give us that much new stuff. We got the Samantha doll Easter egg, which can be activated by heading over here to the fishing hut, and you're going to want to shoot all 4 of these pans located around this room. You'll know it's the correct pan when you hear the ding when you actually shoot it. And once you have shot all 4, you want to head over here, interact with the Samantha doll, then run outside of the fishing hut, and on this bridge, that's where all the Samantha dolls are going to be. So this one is a little bit easier than the previous 2 we've done. And once you have shot all of these Samantha dolls, you want to run back in, interact with the Samantha doll again, get your max ammo, and activate the music Easter egg. And really the only other big thing that we had for Shi No Numa was the Dr. Monty radio.
Shi No Numa. Did I say that right? I've not really put the effort into learning Japanese. In some ways, that's where it really started for you guys. It's also where Fluffy returned, right? Well, When I say returned, I'm referring more to her offspring, her little pups. They grew big, didn't they? More importantly, they started showing signs of food aggression. Whoa, that's never good. Gotta say, I still prefer an angry dog to any kind of cat. I know it's wrong to generalize, but frankly, all cats are evil little shits.
The Giant isn't a Zombie Chronicles map, but I still feel like it fits better with these maps than the rest of the Black Ops 3 ones. The first little Easter egg I got for you guys is going to be the 6th perk Easter egg. There is a way to reveal either Deadshot Daiquiri or Stamina. All you're going to need is Monkey Bombs. Once you have your Monkey Bombs, you want to toss one in a teleporter and then take the teleporter. And once you have arrived at the mainframe, you will notice on this panel, one of the lights is green. You're going to want to do that for the other 2 teleporters as well. Throw a Monkey Bomb in, take it, go back to spawn, throw a Monkey Bomb in, take it, go back to spawn. And once you have done that for all 3 teleporters, activate this little panel right here and a beam will shoot out from the robot head and melt this snow. And that will reveal either Deadshot Daiquiri or Stamina. And in my opinion, the reward isn't really worth it. I mean, you have a 50% chance to get Deadshot, which is pretty useless. But to be fair, the Easter egg is also really easy to do. So I guess in a way, the reward kind of does make a little sense. Now, in a lot of Black Ops 3 maps, you can find the Mob of the Dead plane, and sometimes it's very well hidden, but in the Giant, it's kind of right out in the open. And the far back teleporter, if you look on the roof, you can see the Mob of the Dead plane just chilling right up here. And like I said, this is definitely one of the more obvious locations compared to the rest of the Black Ops 3 maps. And this would not be a proper Der Riese remake if it didn't have the Flytrap Easter egg. Now, this Flytrap Easter egg in Black Ops 3 is a little bit different than the World at War version. I'm going to let you guys watch both of them side by side, so that way you can not only see the differences, you can also hear them, because for the Black Ops 3 version, we don't have Samantha, we got Dr. Maxis instead, and you'll notice some differences right away.
I want to play a game. Let's play hide and seek. Those were her exact words. Hey, you found one. I can hear her, even now. Wow, you found another one. There must be a purpose to this.
You found another one!
The beacon is lit. I know where and when you are. Sooner or later, I will find you. Together, we will ensure a better future for the children.
When it speaks in language I have never heard.
The Giant also gave us some ciphers. Now, normally when we get ciphers, we get information about the storyline, but it seems like all these ciphers mainly gave us hints at future DLCs. Try to see if you can figure out which cipher is talking about what map. Cipher 1 reads, "The mountain must be searched for the frozen one." Cipher 2 reads, "In the cell below the waves is where honor suffers." Cipher 3 reads, "When finished, we will return to the house and the infinite." The next cipher reads, "A city of fire surrounds the warrior, the last of his kind." And the last and final cipher, to this day, remains unsolved. And there's also, of course, your typical scraps of paper, and when you find them all and put them all together, you get a blueprint for the summoning key. And funny enough, one of the loading screens actually shows Dr. Monty sketching out this blueprint. So the Giant, I feel like, was pretty tame with their ciphers, especially compared to a lot of other Black Ops 3 maps. The last little thing I got for you guys about the Giant is going to be the music Easter egg. It is activated the same way as the World at War version, but instead of Beauty of Annihilation, you get this remix of Beauty of Annihilation. And I'm not gonna lie, it's still pretty good. It's definitely not as good as the original, but it still kind of slaps. Now jumping over to Kino Der Toten, the Samantha doll Easter egg is going to be a little trickier than the previous maps. To do this, you want to head out to the alley and come up to this blue door. Eventually, you will hear some knocking in sets of 3, so you might hear him knock like twice, pause, then 4 times, pause, then once, and all you have to do is repeat that knocking sequence with knives. So you want to knife twice, pause, knife 4 times, pause, knife once. And you will have to do this total sequence 3 times. And in case you really don't know what I'm talking about, just watch this video. And once you have done that, you want to head back into the theater room, and right off the stage in this pile of rubble is where the Samantha doll is located. And you know what to do by now, activate the doll and go find the rest of them. And I'm pretty sure all of them spawn in this giant area right here, so you will not have to explore the entire map, all of them can be found right in this area. And once you have found them all, go back, interact with the doll, get your max ammo, and the music Easter egg will start playing. Now there also is another door related Easter egg in Kino, and this is in the fire trap room. If you come right up to this door, occasionally, it's kind of rare, it takes a while, you can hear some mystery man mumbling under his breath with a zombie in the background occasionally moaning. Or groaning, I should say. It's kind of weird to say moaning. Pretend I said groaning. And it's very hard to hear what he's saying, but I could somewhat make out Reznov hasn't come back, he comes soon, and he will arrive soon. I believe that's what he might be saying, but again, it's very difficult to make it out. And also, let's not forget the classic Dr. Monty radio.
Kino Der Toten, Theater of the Dead. I don't know why it wasn't Untoten, but I suppose the whole living dead thing is something of an oxymoron. I like that word. Oxymoron. Been very useful when trying to identify all the contradictory chaos I've had to untangle. Anyway, Group 935 were back to their old tricks. Been in an old cinema. I don't know why. Maybe they wanted to watch some old movies. That was where you first saw the house, wasn't it? Well, part of it anyway. Samantha's room. Remember? You probably don't, but trust me. Have a look. It's there, all right.
Now, very similar to the Black Ops 1 version, there is a way to launch the rocket. In case you don't know what the rocket is, that is in one of the rooms that you teleport after Pack-a-Punch. There's going to be a rocket on the table, and you can launch that. To do this, you want to head over to the dressing room. And you know the Black Ops 1 mannequin, the one that you could shoot the heart and it would start bleeding? Well, that's not in Black Ops 3, but the mannequin's still there. All you have to do is jump in front of this mannequin 5 times. Once you have done that, head to Pack-a-Punch, and eventually it will teleport you to the 5 room. And if you go right up to the rocket and interact with it, you can launch it. Nothing really happens after that, but it's still a cool throwback to the original Kino. Now, I'm a huge fan of creepiness and zombies, so I love when we get those little horror aspects, and one of the ones that Kino has is a baby crying. Sometimes when you're just dicking around on the stage, you can hear in the background a baby crying with some ominous music. And the last thing we got on Kino Der Toten is going to be the Morgue City bus. If you can somehow no-clip out of spawn and you come right over here, you can see the Morgue City bus. I don't think this was anything to do with anything because you wouldn't be able to see it unless you no-clipped. So I mainly think that this was just a reused asset. They're like, hey, throw it here. It looks kind of cool outside this window. I don't think it really has too deep of a meaning, but it's still pretty interesting to point out. Now, back in Black Ops 1, there was this cool feature where if you were to ADS or kind of move your gun in the general direction of one of the soldier zombies, they would try to dodge or get out of the way. And unfortunately, that little quirk did not come back for Black Ops 3, and that's a huge shame because I do kind of miss the zombies barrel rolling out of the way if you try to shoot them. And the Samantha doll Easter egg for this map is going to be a little bit more challenging and might take you a little longer than usual. You're going to need Gersh devices, and you're going to want to throw 3 Gersh devices at 3 different Samantha dolls. The first one is located over here on a pipe below Pack-a-Punch. This one might be one of the easier ones to get. The next one is going to be high up here on the ledge across from where Widow's Wine / PhD would be. This one is very, very difficult to get the right angle with. And the last and final one is going to be up high over here near Stamina. Like I said, throw a Gersh device at each one and you will suck up all of those Samantha dolls. Once you have done that, you can go back to Pack-a-Punch and interact with the doll. Now you get to play hide and go seek. The hide and go seek dolls will actually lead you all the way to where the Easter egg is. Just run all the way to where you would do the ending of the Easter egg and you'll find all the dolls. Or just listen to it. It's not that difficult. And then once you have shot them all, go back and interact with the first doll again and you get the music Easter egg and a max ammo. We also have the Dr. Monty radio.
Ascension, the Russian Cosmodrome. I know Nikolai can be a bit down on Soviet technology, but the Ruskies really pulled one out of the bag that time. The Ascension group built a bloody great rocket. It actually worked a treat, too. Do you remember Gersh, bald guy, who fought alongside you for a while? I think Richthofen was off somewhere at the time. Anyway, Gersh ran into a little bit of dimensional distortion. Honestly, why do you insist in meddling with stuff you don't understand? Of course, all their experiments just stirred the reality soup even more. You ended up fighting monkeys, space monkeys at that. As I'm sure you know, monkeys are thieving little bastards. Give them half a chance and they'll nick anything that isn't nailed down. So, in answer to a question Richthofen once asked, I don't love a monkey.
And one little cool Easter egg that they put in the Black Ops 3 version, if you come down here near the Pack-a-Punch area and you look up here, you can see what looks to be the Shadow Man. And the cool part about this is every round he's gonna move location. So it's not just gonna be on one window, he'll swap and he'll move around between all 4 of those windows. And I kind of like that. It's a little creepy and it kind of gives you a little reminder that someone is always watching. Moving on to Shangri-La, we didn't really get too much new stuff. We got the Samantha doll Easter egg, and this one is activated by hitting 4 gongs around the map. Now, there's going to be technically 8 gongs, but there are 4 correct ones. The correct ones sound like this, and the incorrect ones sound like this. So find the 4 gongs that sound correct and melee them, without meleeing any of the incorrect ones. Once you have meleeed all 4 of the correct gongs, take the slide all the way down here and you're going to shoot these pans. You want to shoot the first one twice for 1, 1, and then shoot the 5th one once for 1, 1, 5. Once you have done that, you'll hear the sound, and now you can go activate the Samantha doll. It is up here near the minecart. Activate it, and now we get to play hide and go seek. And this one is actually pretty easy yet difficult because all the locations are always going to be the same. But because it's kind of hard to see some of them because Shangri-La's kind of a dark map because you're in some caves, just follow where I go and shoot all of the ones where I shoot. Some of these, like I said, are very, very difficult to see. And if you don't have a sniper, you might never see it. But once you have found all 5 of those dolls, you want to head back to the original doll, and you know what to do by now. Activate it, get your max ammo, and the music Easter egg. And surprise, surprise, we also have the Dr. Monty radio.
Shangri-La, the city of gold. No, hang on. I got that wrong. The city of gold was somewhere else. Well, it would have been if it actually existed. Anyway, a lot of explorers went looking for it, believing that it might reveal the gateway to Agartha. Gasp. 2 such misguided fools, Brock and Gary, They got themselves locked into a temporal loop, doomed to relive the same events over and over again. Poor souls. You know, that kind of thing happens more often than you realize. So, other than all that, Richthofen was looking for the golden rod, or some such thing. Can't say I know quite why. But that's Richthofen for you.
Now, the last little cool Easter egg on Shangri-La is going to be the rocket monkey Easter egg. If you get a drop to spawn, and you let the little monkeys kind of run on the map, you grab the drop before the monkeys can grab it, and you let the monkeys hit you. After the monkey hits you, he's going to run back to Pack-a-Punch, run all the way up the stairs, and this happens. It's so weird and just completely random that I absolutely love it. Moving on to Moon, not only do we get a very beautiful looking map, we did get a fair bit of new Easter eggs. The first one we're going to be talking about is the Space Dog Easter egg. To do this, you're going to need the wave gun. The first thing you're going to do is head to Area 51. There's going to be a dog toy located right over here, and you just have to shoot that with the wave gun. Going back to the moon and heading over to the biodome, way over here, way behind the box, it's very difficult to see, but if you just shoot in the same direction that I'm shooting, you're eventually going to hit a teddy bear. So if you can't see it, which I, for the life of me, could not, just keep shooting in this general area and you'll be good. And the last and final thing we're going to need is going to be the bone. This is going to be outside of the map over near the teleporter. Again, I couldn't see this at all. Maybe I'm just too old and have terrible eyes, but shoot in this area and you'll be good. Once you have done that, grab the hacker and head over to the dog bowl in the laboratory. You're going to want to hack this, and the next thing you're going to have to do is fill it up. Now it is a soul box, and you're going to need a lot of zombie kills in this area. Once you have completed it, you will hear this. And that basically means hurry up to the moon's surface over here near Mule Kick and look out towards spawn, and you'll see Space Dog. And he's just so adorable. Look at him. He's so cute, jumping around his little spacesuit. Yeah, you gotta love him. He's so adorable. Now, also speaking of the laboratory, there's going to be a bunch of papers that, if you've watched my previous episodes, you might recognize some of these about zombie attacks in London and a giant rocket, and you will notice that these are actually from Der Eisendrache, which is pretty cool because we do know from the DE Easter egg that these maps are very connected. Now, if we head over to spawn, down here near where the Shiva is, and you listen very closely, sometimes you can hear some very, very scary and terrifying audio that gives me shivers just thinking about the vast, vast emptiness of space and just how terrifying that actually is. Now we also have our classic Samantha doll Easter egg. To do this, you're going to want to turn on power and stay right next to power. There's going to be 4 speakers on this table, and they're in this order. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to have to hit each speaker in this order that is on screen right now. And in case you have no idea what I'm talking about, just watch this clip. Once you have done that, you can interact with the Samantha doll, which is not too far away. And once that happens, you just have to shoot all of these Samantha dolls right here. And this is very, very easy. Once you shoot them all, go back to the original doll and interact with that, and you get a max ammo and this musical Easter egg. And of course, we got Mr. Monty jumbling up the storyline.
Moon, it's gone now. Well, recently it has, but don't worry. I will make/have made a new one. But at this point in space and time, things were going to reach something of a crescendo. Richthofen. Crazy Richthofen. Evil Richthofen. Remember him? Fucking idiot blew up the Earth. It didn't really all go to plan, though, did it? If he even ever had a plan. He ended up trying to enlist the help of some other idiots left in the apocalyptic wasteland.
And the last interesting thing on Moon is going to be the astronaut himself. If you can somehow get close enough to him to where you can hear some of his audio, it's very, very creepy.
Oh, his death was shine. What just is dead?
And if you play it backwards, you hear this instead. So yeah, very, very creepy. Last but not least, we got Origins, and the Samantha doll Easter egg is a little bit of a pain in the ass on this one because you need all the staves. Once you have all the staves, head down to the staff room, and this bottom circle, if you have zombie blood, you can see it. There are going to be 4 different colors going around the circle. And all you have to do is shoot each colored orb with each corresponding staff. So the red one is the fire staff, the yellow one is the wind staff, the blue one is the ice one, and the purple one is going to be the lightning staff. Once you have done that, you want to head to the crazy place and interact with the Samantha doll. And after that, all of these dolls will start spawning in, and you want to shoot them all. And once you have shot all of them, the dolls will start like coming from the ground, trying to go all the way up in the sky. And I know it's going to be tempting to like keep shooting them, because that's what I kept doing for a minute. But you want to let the doll go all the way up, similar to how you let the Maxis drone at the end of the Easter egg go all the way up. Once you have done that, you will get your max ammo, and this song will start playing. And of course, you're probably getting sick and tired of them, but we have the Dr. Monty radio.
Where to start with this one? You guys got a mulligan after Richthofen blew up the Earth. Samantha was confused. She was still settling into her new home. Actually, she was locked away, outside of reality itself. You freeing her was a big step in the right direction. Here's the thing. You have to remember, the order in which you experience things doesn't necessarily reflect the order in which they happen. Whatever way you look at it, though, it really was the beginning of the end. Or the end of the beginning.
And really the only other two things that I could find that were of any interest in Origins is going to be on the tank path right over here in the mud. There's going to be some paper on the ground. And this paper is actually a shout out to all of the people that helped make the game. And I've said it once and I'll say it again. I love when Treyarch includes references to their developers. If you watched one of my previous videos, you will have seen all of the numerous references in Shadows of Evil. So if you haven't seen that, go give it a watch. And the last interesting thing is how the mud works. In Black Ops 2, the key to getting around in the mud besides stamina was jumping. You wanted to run, jump all over. That was the fastest way to get around the mud. But that is not the case in Black Ops 3. In Black Ops 3, you just want to run. If you actually try to pull a Black Ops 2 strategy, you will be slower. So once you get stamina, you can just zip right through the mud. But in Black Ops 2, you want to run and jump. And going from one Origins to the other can really mess you up, and I have been killed by the Panzer so many times because I'll be playing the wrong Origins and using the wrong strat. So that is going to be the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and if you guys did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Also, shout out to NordVPN. Thank you for partnering with this video. And also an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. We got B-Rad the Man, Brian Hahn, Chad Phillips Jr., Dr. Dopey, Fat Lucky Potato, Forg, G-Daddy Smackdown, Giovanni Diaz, Icy Storm, Jordan Boylan, Jorge Burgos, Mayall, Person, and Will Likens. Thank you so much for being a Patreon. If you guys would like to be a Patreon, a link is down below in the description. That's the end of the video. You may leave now.